Welcome to my channel EDU Nursing. Today we are going to have a discussion on the topic of excretory system, which is a basic topic of anatomy and physiology. Before starting the topic, let me remind you about the subscription. If till now you have not subscribed my channel, kindly subscribe my channel, so whenever I will post a new video, you will get a notification of it. So without wasting the time, we will start the topic, that is the excretory system. Basically, in our body there are four excretory systems which are present. One is bowel, through which the feces is going to be passed, that is your stool. Next is lung, through which carbon dioxide is going to be exhaled out. Third one is skin, through which excessive water in form of sweat is going to be thrown out from your body. And fourth one is urinary system, through which the urine is going to be thrown out from your body. These are the components of urinary system. There will be two kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder and urethra. So the kidney removes waste product of metabolism, excess water and salt from blood and maintain the pH. Basically, as you know, blood is alkaline by nature. So to maintain that pH, that is 7.535 pH, to maintain that pH we will be requiring one system, that is a urinary system. So the kidney helps for that. Excessive water, excessive salt, whenever it is present inside the blood, so it is going to be filtered from the kidney and it is going to be thrown out, and through which the blood pH will be maintained. Next is ureters, that this conveys the urine from the kidney till the urinary bladder. Basically, your ureters are the pathway through which the water is going to come from the kidney, it is going to be go inside the urinary bladder. Next is urinary bladder, it is a muscular reservoir, it is a pouch like structure in which urine is going to be stored. Last one is urethra, this is the end part of your urinary system through which the urine is going to be thrown out from the body. So what is kidney? The kidneys are a pair of excretory organs situated on the posterior abdominal wall on each side of the vertebral column behind the peritoneum. What is peritoneum? Peritoneum is the abdominal covering, abdominal wall, which are present in the abdominal cavity. So that is a covering of the abdomen. So where your kidneys are situated, these are situated posterior abdominal wall, मतलब पीछे के side में, and either side of the vertebral column. As you know, at the center we are having vertebral column at the back side. So these kidneys are present at the posterior side, either side of the vertebral column. The location of the kidney occupies epigastric, hypochondriac, lumbar and umbilical region. As we all know, there are 9 quadrants of abdominal cavity, out of which epigastric, hypochondriac, lumbar and umbilical region are going to be covered by these kidneys. Vertically, they extend from upper border of 12th thoracic vertebra to the center of the body of 3rd lumbar vertebra. We are having cervical region, thoracic region, lumbar region and sacral region. Okay, so out of which it is going to be from upper border of 12th thoracic vertebra and it will be in the 3rd lumbar vertebra. This is the position of the kidney. The right kidney is slightly lower than the left and the left kidney is slightly nearer to the median plane of the right. Now, in the exam you will be asked as a structure and function of kidney, so you have to write about external feature and internal as well as internal structure of kidney. So each kidney is bean shaped organ and its upper and lower poles, medium and lateral border and anterior and posterior surface, out of which the upper pole is slightly broad and its close contact corresponded to suprarenal gland. So suprarenal gland which are present on the top of the kidney, so it will be closer to that, and the lower pole is slightly pointed. As you can see in the diagram, this is the diagram of adult kidneys. In case of pediatric, again, or the small children, it will be smaller in size, but in the adult you can see the height of the kidney will be 11 centimeter, width will be 5 and the breadth will be 3 centimeter. The lateral border is convex. As you can see in the diagram, the lateral corner is slightly convex and the medial border is concave. The middle part of the median border is depressed and known as hilus. Measurement: The color is reddish brown. Length is 11 centimeter as we have seen. Width is 6 and thickness is 3. Weight of the kidney, in case of male it will be 150 gram, and in case of female it will be 135 gram. Now covering, there are main three covering which are present. Innermost fibrous capsule, that is also known as true capsule. Middle fatty capsule, the fat is a collection of fatty tissue which are present in the middle, and false capsule which is present at the outer side. So these are the relation, means surrounded the kidney what all organs are present. Now macroscopic structure we will see whenever in the exam it will be asked. This special and main diagram you have to draw. These are the parts of the kidney. As you can see in the diagram, the first part, that is the main covering of the kidney, is known as renal capsule. The triangular shape organ, if you can see, that is known as renal pyramid. Inside the renal pyramid there is a small fibers. That fibers are will be present, and in the pyramid there is a U-shaped structure which is known as papillae. Then there will be the space between that triangle, that is the renal pyramid, and the wall is known as renal cortex. The renal medulla, ureter through which the urine is going to pass, renal pelvis, minor calculus and major calculus. So the main function is filtration, and the filtration is going to be taken place with the help of nephrons which are present inside. Renal cortex is outer one, that is outer 1 centimeter. Renal medulla is a renal column, and pyramids and papilla, which is also known as papillae. Lobe of kidney, there are pyramids and its overlying cortex. It is a overlying cortex. Okay, this is the microscopic structure in which each uniferous tubules consist of excretory part which is called as nephron, and collecting tubules. So this is the main anatomy of nephron. In the nephron, if you can see, there are glomerulus, proximal tubule, loop of Henle, and distal tubule. This is the main diagram of nephron. In the exam it may get, they may ask you about it, what is a nephron. Then what is glomerulus, that we will see. This is only place in which system where the blood actually is getting filtered. As you can see, a glomerulus, this is the net like structure, is known as glomerulus. So there the filtration process is going to be taken place. Blood pressure is used to push plasma through capillary wall and into the Bowman's capsule. Extra blood is going to be thrown through which the capillary wall and into the Bowman's capsule. So this is the urine formation process. First is filtration, tubular reabsorption, tubular secretion, and concentration. So first, in the glomerulus wall, in that water, nutrient and waste products are getting filtrated from the glomerular capillaries into the Bowman's capsule of the nephron. In the nephron there will be a filtration. Actually, when the water is going to come inside with the blood, it is going to be filtered. And what all thing will be get filtered? Water, nutrient and the waste products. Then there will be a tubular reabsorption. Tubular reabsorption mainly takes place in the proximal tubule. This is the yellow color, if you can see, that is the proximal tubule. There the tubular reabsorption is going to be taken place. Most water and nutrients are going to be reabsorbed in the blood, which are the important nutrients, and the maintenance of the water is going to be taken place. That is going to be done in the tubular reabsorption. Next is tubular secretion. Now in the distal tubule, additional waste are actively secreted into the tubule from the blood. Means what? When now here the tubular reabsorption has taken place. After the tubular reabsorption, if any waste product still there, need to be taken out from the material. So that is going to be taken place in the distal tubule. The remaining important product like water and nutrients are going to be secrete in the distal tubule. And last one is concentration. In the collecting duct, additional water may leave, creating urine that is more concentrated than the blood. The extra urine is going to extra water which is present, or the extra waste product, nutrient which are not present, not required from the body, is going to be thrown out with the help of collecting duct. So that was the formation of urine. Next is proximal tubule. What is the function of proximal tubule? Nutrient, that is salt, vitamin, etc. are moved out of the tubule through active transport, and water follows the nutrients by osmosis. So this is the process which we have seen just now. Next is loop of Henle, which is present. The tissue around the loop of Henle is salty from active transport, and diffusion of sodium chloride is going to be taking place. What is diffusion? The amount of fluid is going to be thrown from lower concentration to higher concentration is going to be there, so that is a diffusion. So that process is going to be taken place in the loop of Henle. The salty conditions allow the water to diffuse out from the loop. Now, what is the distal tubule? Active transport is used to move more nutrient out of the concentrated urine. Some ions, drugs, toxins are actively pumped into the tubule. Now, in the distal tubule, we have seen again it is going to be in the distal tubule. Second time there will be secretion, which we have seen in the filtration diagram. So whatever extra drug, toxins, and whatever materials are there, that is going to be secreted out in the distal tubule. Last one is collecting duct. Collecting duct, more water leaves the tube by osmosis. Since the tube is surrounded by salty tissue, some urea leaves by diffusion and may cycle through the system. Means the extra the remaining whatever the waste product and toxic and drugs which are not required for the body, that is going to be absorbed and going to be thrown out from the kidney. So this is the process which we have seen just now. So function of nephron: the filtration, tubular reabsorption, secretion, and urine and the flesh bulk need to be separated and need to be thrown out from the body. That is the function of nephron. Now, kidney function: filters blood plasma, eliminates the waste, returns useful chemicals to blood. Means whatever important materials are there, that can be a plasma, that can be a nutrient, that can be a iron, that need to be absorbed and given to the blood. Second is that it regulates the blood volume and pressure. The excessive pressure, the blood pressure maintenance is also a function of kidney. Regulates osmolarity of the body fluid. Osmolarity need to be maintained by the kidney. Then secrete the renin, that is a renin-angiotensin mechanism, as you must be knowing about it, that is the maintenance of sodium and potassium. Aldosterone, which helps for controlling the BP and electrolyte imbalance. Then it secretes the erythropoietin and control the RBC count. The erythropoietin is a type of RBC which are maintained by the kidney. Then regulate the PCO2 and acid base balance, detoxifies the free radical and glycogenesis. These are some function of kidney. Now the blood supply. Now how the kidney is going to be get supplied. Now the arterial supplies is going to be given by renal arteries, and the venous supply is going to be given by renal veins, which is going to be which are the ends at the your inferior vena cava of the heart. Then nervous supply: sympathetic fibers derived from T10, that is thoracic 10 and lumbar 1 segment, are going to be give a nerve supply, and the lymphatic drainage is lateral aortic nodes. Now, what is a ureters? Ureters are a pair of narrow, thick walled muscular tube which convey urine from the kidney to the bladder. I told you it is just a pathway through which the urine is going to flow from the kidney to the bladder. Dimension, it is a 25 centimeters. It is a 25 centimeter long, that is 10 inches. The upper half in the abdomen and the lower half will be in the pelvis. It measures 3 mm diameter but slightly constricted in 3 places, that is a ureteric junction and the brim of the lesser, that is the anatomy of the bone, of the pelvis bone, the brim of the lesser pelvis, and passes through the bladder wall. There are mainly two parts which are divided from the site of origin to pelvis brim, and the abdominal part is the abdominal part, and the pelvic brim enter into the urinary bladder. मतलब जो नीचे का पार्ट है उसको pelvic part बोलते हैं, मतलब जो abdomen में है उसको abdomen का part, abdominal part, and जो pelvic में है उसे pelvic part. This is the cross section of the ureter. It is having a 3 layer. Outer layer is fibrous tissue, middle layer is muscle, and inner is epithelium. Blood supply, ureter is going to be supplied by urinary artery, abdominal aorta, gonadal artery, common iliac artery, internal iliac artery, and inferior vesical artery. The nerve supply is autonomic nervous system. Now the urinary bladder, we will see the urinary bladder is a pouch-like structure in which the urine is going to be stored. Whatever water we are drinking, it is not going to come out immediately, right? So it is going to be stored in the body. Now if I will just drink 2 sips of water, so immediately am I going to go for urination? No, the water is going to be stored somewhere. So that is the part, that is a urinary bladder. The urinary bladder is a hollow muscular organ which functions as a reservoir for the urine received from the kidney and discharge it to the through the urethra periodically. Empty bladder in an adult situated within the pelvis when distended, when it is going to be, what do you mean by distended? It will be full of urine. It is rise up to abdominal cavity, मतलब वो pelvis तक होता है, but when the urine is going to be filled in the your bladder, it is going to be distended, it is going to be come up till the abdominal cavity and it become an abdominopelvic organ. The capacity is, the mean capacity of the urine is 220 ml per hour. 50 to 60 ml urine is going to be get produced in the bladder. It is going to be stored in the bladder, 50 ml to 60 ml per hour. But at a time when we are voiding the urine, it will be 500 to 1000 also. So the actual capacity of the bladder is 220 ml. Filling beyond 220 ml causes the desire to micturition, means we are whenever what is the meaning of this? The capacity of the bladder is 220 ml, but when it is going to be beyond 220 ml, we will be having that urge to have a urine. Filling up to 500 ml may be tolerated. As I told you, at a time we can void 500 to 1700 or 700 ml also urine. So when the bladder can tolerate at least 500 ml of urine, but it may become painful. Now the shape, the empty bladder is 4-sided pyramid in shape, has 4 angles, that is apex, neck, and 2 lateral angles. As you can see in the diagram, there are main 3 parts, that is the 4 and it has a 4 angle. First is apex, which is on the top, neck, and lateral side there will be a 2 angles. 4 surfaces will be there, again base, 2 inferolateral surface, and superior surface. Now this is the right side, if you can see, that is the female pelvic region, and the left side is the male pelvic region. So that is the difference. Now the situation of the bladder, you can see there is a difference in between male and the female. The bladder structure. Now there are 3 layers in the bladder. Outer layer is loose connective tissue, middle layer is smooth connective tissue as well as elastic fiber, and inner layer is lined with transitional epithelium tissue. Now, inferior structure of bladder, the mucous membrane is straw color, it is in dark reddish in color and is thrown into the fold. There are folds which are present. When the bladder is descends, these folds will be disappear and it is going to be straight. It is going to be uh, without any fold. As you must have seen the bag, cotton bag, which we are carrying for the market purpose and all. If we are filling that bag fully, there will be no wrinkles. But if the bag is empty, automatically it will be wrinkled. It is the same process. Whenever there will be no urine, the fold will be seen, and when the bladder is going to be full of urine, the fold will be disappear. The posterior wall shows a smooth triangle called trigon. The posteriorly there is a triangle which is you can see in the diagram, that is known as trigon, and there are no mucous fold in this region. वहाँ पे mucous fold नहीं है. At the upper lateral angle of the trigon are the ureteric opening. There is a ureteric opening. वहाँ पे ureter का opening होता है. And at the inferior angle there is urethral orifice. जहाँ पे urethra होता है. Upper side में अगर आप देखिए तो वहाँ पे ureter है. दो ureter, it is going to come from two kidneys and it is going to attach to the bladder. And the inferior part there will be a urethral opening through which the urine is going to go out. So this is the applied anatomy. Last one is urethra. Urethra का length in case of male and female there will be a difference because of the structure of the pelvic region of the male and the female. The urethra is a canal extending from the neck of the bladder to the exterior and the external orifice. In the male it will be 20 centimeter, that is 8 inches long, and in case of female there will be 3 to 4 centimeter, which is going to be 1.5 inches long. Short length is why female have more urinary tract infection than the male. उनका लेंथ ही छोटा होता है. Now in case of male, as we have seen in that diagram where I have shown you the difference between male pelvis and female pelvis structure, where the bladder was situated, there was more place for the male. Bladder का length बहुत ज़्यादा था because of the structure, but in case of female it is not like that. The bladder is very close to urethra, that's why urinary tract infection is more often for the female than the male. This is the female urethra, which is 3 to 4 centimeter long external urethra opening between the vaginal orifice and the clitoris. There will be the urethral orifice will be going to be present. Internal urethral sphincter, there will be a destressor muscle, thick, which is a thick in the nature, smooth muscle involuntarily control, and where the external urethra will be there, the sphincters will be skeletal muscle and it will be having a voluntary control. मतलब अगर मुझे नहीं जाना है, so I can control the urine for some time. This is the male bladder and the urethra. It is 18 centimeter long. Internal urethral sphincter and external urethral sphincter is present, which you can see, and it will be in the same manner. Internal urethral sphincter doesn't have any means the control will be involuntarily, and whereas the external urethral sphincter will be having a skeletal muscle and which will be having a voluntarily function. 3 region. Prostatic urethra, the prostate is present at the side of the bladder, means inferior side of the bladder. Then during the orgasm receives the semen. There will be a semen which is going to be received during the orgasm. Membranous urethra passes through the pelvic cavity and the penile opening. This is the structure. So this was the anatomy and physiology of excretory system, that is a urinary system. If you have any doubt, any things have not clear from my side, you can post in the comment box. I can surely try to solve your all the doubts. And if till now you have not subscribed the channel, so please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so you will get a notification for the next video. Thank you so much.